ni hao, hola, bonsoir, bonsoir, bonjour, zhao shang hao, wan shang hao. Those are most of the ways that I know how to say hello in the different languages. Buongiorno. Yes, I pulled out a little bit of Italian that I remembered. My name is Shana Ashcombe. I'm the creative consultant with Trap Consulting, and I am here to talk to you about pricing. So let's jump right into it. I don't like to do a whole bunch of long introductions, but I will give a few disclaimers. One being that I'm working out of Venture Co-working, number 17 Rosetta Street, shameless plug. Come check us out. And so there may be times where uh, I have to get up because someone's at the door and I have to buzz them in, okay? Just an FYI. But other than that, or someone may walk in, they may knock and they may walk in and then I have to pause, okay? So that is disclaimer number two. The final disclaimer is I have messed up my MacBook screen, so I'm using an external screen, which is off this way. And so if you see me looking off, like I'm staring at something in the distance, I'm literally just making sure my screen is still on, everything is still on, because I'm literally looking at a cracked screen with a bunch of colors in white if I'm looking directly at you. Okay? So, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you if you've decided to start a business. Now, if you've already been in business for a while, but you're still figuring out how this thing goes, great job for pushing through. It is not easy. For those of you just starting, you should know it is not going to be easy, okay? So, one of the biggest things that is important is in business is pricing, okay? So, I have a few examples of items that I want to show you, okay? So, we're talking about pricing when it comes to products and pricing when it comes to services. Those are slightly different, but then there are some things that overlap. Okay. One of the things that is huge is you have to know your break even price. So, your break even price is the price that you sell your item at that covers all of the cost associated with delivering that item. I have seen many people never calculate the break even price. So they don't realize that they're actually losing money. In particular, if you have a job and you're selling or providing a product or service, you may not realize that you're losing money because you're just thinking, well, I'm taking money from my 9 to 5, my day job, my salary, whatever it is, and I'm just putting that money back into the business. Okay. When in actuality, because you don't know what your break even price is and you're not paying attention to how much money you are siphoning off from your salary into the business, you have no idea a context of how much money you're actually losing. Okay, that's some of you, not all of you. I know I've been guilty of it. I know I've been very guilty of running an expensive hobby. Okay, and it wasn't until I got real with myself and I put my numbers in spreadsheets did I realize how much money I was losing, how much money I was leaving on the table, and how much of my salary was actually going towards the business because I wasn't charging enough. Okay, so one of the very first things that I implore you to do, please find a budget template and fill in all of your expenses. You don't have to know all of the expenses right now, but fill in as many expenses as you possibly can. Okay? So that you know how much your costs are for the month, how much your costs are for a 12-month period. Okay? Now you may say, well, what does that have to do with setting up my prices? Because your marketing budget can be divided amongst the number of products you sell or the amount of services that you sell. Okay? So, I'll give you a simple example. I have a mug. So, this is a mug that I got from a talk that I did, okay? So let's say that I sell mugs and I sell 50 mugs every month, okay? Now, there are obviously costs associated with that mug, whether it be importing the mug, making the mug locally, which means the raw products. When I deliver the mug, my packaging, gas, those types of things, okay? So those are directly associated. It's easy to think of, oh, okay, that's directly associated with me providing that mug. But then there are other things. There are other things like marketing. There are other things like subscriptions that you might be involved in, okay? So let's say you have a marketing budget of $3,000 for the year. So you divide that $3,000 by 12, and that's how much you spend on marketing per month. And so if I know that I sell 50 mugs per if I sell 50 mugs per month, then I also need to factor in the cost of that marketing per month on each mug. And I add that to the cost of each mug. I hope that makes sense. Okay? Far too many people, far too many of you are setting your prices arbitrarily. You have not calculated what your numbers are. You maybe have not done the research to see what other people in your market are charging, which is a good thing to know. You don't have to base your prices on what other people are charging. And I'll explain why in a different video, but it really depends on the type of competition that exists in your industry. Okay? There are 4 different types of competition. That's what we learn in economics, okay? So I'll give you an example. Perfect competition. Perfect competition says that a consumer has a lot of choices in the same category of things. And because there are so many choices, so many substitutes, then the persons providing those products have to be very aware of what the market is selling and how they're selling it, the price that they're selling it. So let me give you an example. Hair. A whole lot of people now are selling natural hair products. A whole lot of people now are selling wigs, weaves, braiding hair, crochet hair. It's a lot. Okay? So you may find that you're in an area where there are 4 beauty supply places close together. And so place number 1 may sell a product for $14.99. Place number 2 sells a product for $12. Same product, same exact product. Place number 3 sells that same product for $15. Place number 4 sells that product for $13.50. Okay? So because there are so many choices, I don't necessarily want to pay for the higher end. I can go right up the street and pay $1.50 less for the same exact product. So if somebody says, listen, I'm going to sell this product for $25 and everyone else on average is selling it for $14, who's going to go to that $25 person? People are going to be like, I can go to 3 other people just in this area. Okay, so that's what I mean by the sellers have to be aware of what other people are selling, because that's perfect competition. I can go just about anywhere and find those exact same products. So those customers are sensitive to price. You change your price by $5, they're like, I could go someplace else and get that. That's not even worth it. Yeah, I might be loyal to y'all, but y'all wilding with this $5 increase. I could go down the street, up the corner, up the way. I could get the exact same thing. Okay? So I'll go deeper into that in another conversation. But I wanted to give you an example of the need to do research for your industry. Now, once you have your budget template set up, you put your numbers in. Okay? There are a whole lot of you doing extra, giving extra, not thinking about it. Okay, this is a package. I don't want to show the logo on it. This is a package that is used to put desserts in. Okay, there are some of you who will provide the dessert, who will provide the packaging, and do not charge for the packaging. This is nice packaging. This probably may cost, this is just a guess, as an example. I'm not saying this is the real price. This may cost $1, $1.50, but you're not charging for it. So every time you sell something, you are absorbing this $1.50. This is a candle. Again, I'm not going to show the logo. It smells amazing, by the way, and I don't even have to light it. Okay? Now, there's the glass, there's the wick inside, and then there's the candle itself. There's also the label on it. There are a whole lot of elements to this packaging. There are some of you who will sell this candle, have no idea how much the raw materials for each candle cost you. You may just decide, I'm going to sell this candle at $12. When the packaging, the candle, there is this inside as well. On top of the candle, the label, the soy, the wax, whatever the substance is, the fragrance that has to go into it, all of that may cost you $12, but you're selling it at $12. So you're not making any money. In fact, you're losing money because you may be running Facebook ads. You may be charging for delivery. You may be delivering and not charging for delivery. You're losing money. And then wondering why your business isn't bringing in the money that you want it to bring in. There are some of you who want your business to be able to support you full time, but yet you're charging $12 for the item that costs you more than $12 to deliver. Okay? You have to take into account every single thing. And I know some of you may say, Shana, how am I supposed to know how much wax cost per candle? I get it. With mask, right? I'd be like, well, I have to buy elastic by the yard. So then you know what you have to do? You measure out this piece of elastic and you say, okay, per mask, I need 2 of these. So then you say, okay, if I buy a yard for whatever amount, how much of the yard am I using? Now let me calculate how much this piece of elastic cost and multiply that by 2. That's one cost. Now this particular mask has wire in it at the top. Now this wire, I know, comes in a roll, a spiral. So then you need to measure out from end to end how much wire that you're using, and then you work out what the cost of the wire is. So there's the elastic, there's the wire. This mask also has a layer so that I could put in a filter if I want. So this is 2 layers of fabric. This is also thread. All of these things have to be calculated. I don't care if you say it's too much work. Well, you don't want to make money then. That's all I can say. This also, if you sell this, these are mugs. So you have the raw material, and then maybe you decide to add the acrylic or whatever this is on it. I don't remember what it is. Okay? Then you need to calculate, estimate, guesstimate how much, and then this is double-sided. It has 2 sides. Okay? How much it costs to put this on each side. And then you add that into the cost of your mug. Y'all don't play around talking about how you don't know how much things cost. You haven't figured it out. I don't care if you need to get a little scale like you weigh in drugs. Yes, I said it. Y'all know how in the movies, when people have a scale that they use to weigh out the powders, you need to do that. You need to get down to the minute of this is how much it weighs, this is how much it costs. And of course, you're going to do that in comparison to how much you bought it for, and then you look at how much you used out of that, and then you can calculate whatever it is that you need to calculate. Okay? This is business math. And I was one of those people, I hated math. I still don't care for it. But I realize now it is a necessity. All of a sudden, one day, it was like my mind clicked. And I said, you need to get over this fear of math. You need to get over this, your brain locking up whenever math comes up. Okay? Now, if I don't want to do math, it's because I don't want to do it. I'm feeling lazy. It's not because my brain locks up. Because my friends can tell you when they're talking to me about how much they're going to charge for this or that and how much they're going to give, and if they tell me, okay, I'm going to provide this service or this product, I say, okay, how much are you charging? That's usually my second, first, or third question. Okay, what are you going to charge? And then they watch my face and then they get a lecture. Now, I've been working on some people over the years, so now they're like, okay, you tell me what you're thinking, and I'll tell you if I'm close to that. And they're getting closer and closer to what I would tell them to charge. But that's over continuous conversation for a year, 2 years, 3 years for some people. But these are the conversations that I've had to have with myself. Okay? I've lost a whole lot of money because I would just give a number off the top of my head, have no clue